After the Capitol riots happened, the military argued that they had no intelligence. They just couldn't have known that the riots were gonna occur. But new reporting from Ken Klippenstein over at the Intercept proves otherwise. So apparently there was an internal Defense Department intelligence assessment that has been obtained by the Intercept. And that assessment indicated that, yeah, there's definitely need to worry. There was intelligence indicating that these types of events would occur leading up to Biden's inauguration. Here's what the DOD intelligence report said. While the presidential election is finished, a large segment of the population views the results as invalid or fraudulent. Conspiracy theories amplified by social media social media echo chambers are likely to both increase the potential for civil disturbance activity and intensify the level of civil disturbance activity as well. They also wrote in this intelligence report that as the results of the election were announced via several media outlets, various protest groups around the country began protesting the media and their perceived role in the election. It is very likely that these protests will appear again as a result of the election are cemented and inauguration day approaches. And look, they were planning this in plain sight. I mean, now you look back at some of the social media posts and then some of the video that's emerged, and it's pretty clear that these Trump supporters were planning this, coordinating this, organizing this. Now that many of their accounts have been permanently banned from social media, they've moved over to encrypted forms of communicating, like Signal, for instance, but their communication is much more fragmented. But it doesn't matter. I mean, we're supposed to have intelligence agencies that can predict what's gonna happen based on keeping an eye on these things. And it's just amazing that after 9/11, I mean, so much of our privacy was sacrificed in order to keep us safe, right? But when it comes to these white supremacists, right-wing extremists in the country, how are they not able to foil this plot? You get what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I guess that's the key right there. I mean, you identified the key problem with this whole thing is that the trade-off isn't less privacy for more security. It's just less privacy and the same lack of security or even less of it, right? That they're not really out there to protect the best interests of American citizens. That's just not what these intelligence agencies are designed or built to do. That's just fundamentally not what they're gonna do ever, right? I mean, it's just. So, I mean, because you look through this report, the Ken Klippenstein report, which was excellent, and it's an incredible scoop that he got. I mean, but you look through that report, and they also identified Black Lives Matter as a threat to national security, and what. So, I guess like the thought of like the military, the U.S. military, which has done so much damage abroad and just destroyed countries and absolutely destabilized entire populations and killed hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people in the war on terror. Like the thought of them now just training their eye on us, like is not exactly something that I'm very much happy about, I guess. I would be very wary of that. And just the proof is that these kind of thing will always end up targeting things like Black Lives Matter activists. And it's almost certain that there is already an infiltration by cops and federal agents into Black Lives Matter and things like that, already. So yeah, I don't know. There's just everything about this whole episode has me incredibly weary of everything, because it's the kind of thing where like a very bad thing happened and it's very troubling, the sort of social forces that led to it, and so something has to be done. And I'm just seeing that the responses that are available are also incredibly troubling. Like I'm feeling very little political outlets for something productive, and I'm only seeing political outlets for something that can be potentially very destructive.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really seen any solutions proposed by anyone that would because the problem runs deep, right? It's not just the spread of disinformation on social media. It's the fact that these people genuinely believe that the election was stolen. These people genuinely believe that, oh wow, what a coincidence. Every single one of my political opponents is a pedophile. Like that's what the QAnon extremists believe, right? Like, what do you do about that, right? Like, how do you appropriately respond to that in a way that's effective, that doesn't do away with people's, civil liberties? Yeah. And I don't know what the answer. I personally don't know what the answer is, and I've been, searching for someone who might have solutions that go beyond the typical, solutions that were proposed after 9/11, right? Like, I don't want another Patriot Act type policy passed, but I do want to do something about this. I do want to see solutions. And it's just so obvious that there was pre-planning and coordination taking place. This video came up, I saw it this morning on CNN, and it was just jarring. Like, you have these people who know exactly what they're doing, how they can break in or breach the building. Let's go to the first one so you see what I'm talking about.
Floor plan. That door, there's a door to the right. That's a cop. Going down the stairs, back looping around, door beneath us. That we're gonna get over. I think the door's already open. We just need a plan. We need enough people. We need to push forward. Okay. Door right here. We're not doing that door. Downstairs, loop around.
Okay.
Like, I love the woman who's just taking a selfie in the middle of that. But great. That's not the only, I mean, just like she's just having a great time. Like, I'm just, engaging in some criminality here. But let's go to the next one, because the next one is the video that I get knots in my stomach watching this kind of stuff because of how successful they were in getting in and doing what they did. So let's take a look.
Hey guys, I've been in the other room, listen to me. In the other room on the other side of this door, right here where these feet are standing, there is a glass that if it's broken, you can drop down into a room underneath it. There's also two doors in the other room. One in the rear and one to the right when you go in. So people should probably coordinate together if you're gonna take this building. Well, we got another window to break to make it in and out easy. And this window here in the whole room needs to be broken. Yeah, what's here? And then y'all got a window here. Line them out. I'm going back over there.
So Nando, imagine the incredible things the left could actually accomplish in this country if they were as organized as those right wingers were. But I hear that organizing isn't important. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, obviously they knew what they were doing and they were planning in plain sight. And to have, the Defense Department say like, we couldn't have known. I don't know. We had no intel. No, you had the intel. Cenk Klippenstein has made that clear.
Not just that, but you don't need to be the James Bond super spy to have seen what was going on. I mean, this, like you said, I mean, I think that this was just happening pretty out in the open. It's not like you needed to monitor chatter on encrypted cell phone communications like this was happening on Facebook. I don't know, like it's not. That's what I find so bizarre about like people saying like that this wasn't, this was like some sort of intelligence failure. Like that's just not what this was in any way. I mean, it's just, yeah. I mean, seeing those videos. I mean, you just see like when you're asking about solutions, it's very clear that we're living through some like a broad social collapse. Like we're living through some sort of collapse of societal norms and behaviors and trust. And obviously the way that works is very amorphous, and it's not like one policy is going to fix everything. But in general, you just need to do you just need to do a better job of governing the country. I don't know, like there's been just so many leadership failures in the last 20 years in America, like starting with 9/11 and then the Iraq War and Enron, the Catholic Church abuse scandal, the financial crisis, the baseball steroids,
pandemic.
Like the pandemic. I mean, you could just go, the last 20 years is just a litany of elite failure on every single major issue, just absolute failure. And that eventually catches up with you, and you live through a sort of social collapse, and you live through what we're seeing. And this is bizarre behavior from a huge chunk of the population, in which, like you said, like they're in there selfieing as if they were at Burning Man or something, or Coachella. Like it was like, this was basically what it was. It was like MAGA Coachella, and they were all like thinking like, this is like how cool this is. I can't wait to tell all my friends and show, like, and post it on my Instagram. I don't know, like this is what you get when your institutions collapse on basically every single level. You get social upheaval and social collapse, and the only real response
and you get an asymmetric response to Black Lives Matter protesters versus what we saw from law enforcement and the intelligence community at the Capitol last week. Right. So there's plenty of blame to go around, and it is a failure on pretty much every single institution. From the, again, you have members of the military involved, you have veterans involved, you have cops involved, you have literally lawmakers involved, you have people across the board engaging in this, encouraging it, enabling it. And there needs to be, like, nothing's gonna change unless we actually do something to change those institutions. But that's what Black Lives Matter was about last summer. And there was so much pushback against something that's obviously a giant issue in this country, with white supremacy infiltrated within local police departments. I think that's the reason why you saw this asymmetric, reaction.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.